Hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah, coming to you live from Treasury on Collins in Melbourne. Now look, if this isn't dedication to the cause, I don't know what is. I have power walked back to my apartment from a delicious dinner with no kids in De Greaves Lane, off Flinders Lane, and it's been great. I have come down to the city. I've been here for the last 3 days, doing 3 days of intensive training. And by intensive training, it's not training I've been delivering. It's been great. I've been an attendee, but this is intensive. So I was up until 2:30 this morning. Oh, I know, doing homework, but I was a good little student, just like I always was in high school, and I got the job done. Okay, tonight's Ask Leah. I want to answer a question that I used to get asked a lot, particularly when in the early days of my business. So a service, for those of you who don't know, a service I offered in the early days, I need to preface this with I don't offer this service anymore. I know some of you would love me to, but when I started my business, one of the services I offered as a former journalist, a former writer, still is a writer, but former journalist, was job applications. I used to help people with their job applications and resume writing. Hi, John. Hi, Woody. And this was a service I provided for a few years, actually, and I genuinely loved helping people. And a couple of weeks ago, a good friend of mine got me to check their resume. They were looking at applying for new jobs, and they said, can you just check it out? Now, again, usually I would say no to this work, but for this person, I took a look at it. And here's the thing. This person is a gun. Like, they would be an awesome hire for anyone out there, an absolute gun at what they do, have run their own business, plasterer by trade. Some of you will work out who this is. Plasterer by trade, absolute gun, has done leadership, supervisor roles before, and has even, is so technically brilliant at what they do that they were contacted for the last series of The Block and asked to come down for filming of The Block to do some of the ornamental cornice work, because it's so specialised that, there's very few people in the state that do this work. Now, so this person, I was like, yeah, I'll check out their resume. It's going to be awesome. And to say it was minimalist is an understatement. Now, before you get too excited, resumes, CVs should be short. These are not the time to go waffling on. 4 pages max, ideally 2 or 3. Now, you can go back through my blogs on my website at leahmethod.com.au. It's under resources. If you go back to the early blogs, there's a few on there from back in the day when I offered job application services. Yes, you keep it short. Yes, you outline your experience, but you need to make it you. You need to actually own your achievements and the responsibilities that your role entailed. So when I read this guy's initial draft of the resume that he sent me, it just had the companies he'd either run or worked for, and it really didn't say anything under that. It just sort of said plasterer. Now, if I didn't know him and know the information that I do and know how amazing he is, if I was an employer, I would have read this resume, and if he had applied for the job and another plasterer had applied for the job, I wouldn't have been able to tell them apart. I wouldn't have been able to realise from that written document that this guy had such great qualities and experience going for him. And you've got to, the thing we need to remember is we know all of that stuff in our head, but the person reading the resume, the CV, doesn't know this. And we can't expect them to magically guess, so we have to tell them. And it's a very Australian thing not to include this, and I get that. I very much know that we are good at talking ourselves down. We are not good at owning our achievements. We're so modest because we're scared people will turn us tear us down. You know, it's a very Australian thing. It's not about, we don't want to boast. We want to talk ourselves down. You can't do that in a resume or job application because you just won't get the job. You might be brilliant and people need to see that brilliance. Now, that doesn't mean that you're boastful. It doesn't mean that you make claims that you can't back up, but it does mean you own what you do and own your success. So in your CV, under any job that you list, make sure, primarily, ideally, if you have achievements from that role, write those achievements, dot point form, just a couple. But the reason achievements are good is because if I've been in a role and the person next to me has been in the same role, same experience, achievements are what set us apart. If you don't really have achievements, at the very least, document responsibilities. And when you document responsibilities, don't forget the soft skills. So this person had listed that he'd been a plasterer and he'd listed those technical skills, but I knew he had led people. I knew his role is to supervise and sign off on the work of other plasterers. Like, this guy he's great at what he does. He's got huge responsibility. Hello to those who have joined me tonight. And it didn't shine through. So things like if you supervise people, if you have to prioritize your tasks and manage your time. Remember, employers are looking for people who are great to work with, not just those who have the right experience. So, yes, this is a space that I don't work in anymore. However, I hate seeing great people missing out on opportunities that they'd be perfect for because they don't step in to their success and their achievements. So for those of you out there, make sure you own it. Don't boast, but don't talk it down either. Thanks for watching, everyone. I am going to get an early night tonight after my crazy cramming homework session last night. All the best for the long weekend. And for those of you who do like getting involved and having a punt, I hope you pick a winner. Cheers, everyone. Bye.